Hi. Just
Ah,
tuning in and hanging out here with Angela here. So I got my soul sister over here, and
mhm.
my name is Jenna Lee. Yeah.
I'm Angela Shelby.
We're just basically hanging.
Yes.
Hanging here with Spirit Guides After Dark, where we get to channel your erotic soul questions, whatever you're feeling, tuning into that with pleasure, sexuality, spiritual connection. We have a podcast called Erotic Spirit Podcast, and there is no topic too taboo. So we are here for it. Yeah.
Totally. And thoroughly enjoying this sacred, safe space. Bring us your questions, folks. Your spirit guides are here. If you have questions about love, relationships, sex, uh, questions around those things, bring them out. We're here for easy questions, hard questions, and we channel in answers. So it reminds me of being able to ask like spirit or what you consider the divine, the questions you want answered. I did not have an avenue like this when I was growing up as a young Catholic girl. And I always wished somebody would have done it. So we have become that somebody. So bring it on. We'd love for you to share with us tonight.
Oh gosh, we're just in this beautiful space in this journey with everyone. We're riding on this boat, and I'll share a little bit about me before while we kind of just start to set the space here and allow some time for people to come in. So
Mhm.
my name is Jenna, and I'm a channeler. I'm a co-creator of Akashic Source Code, meaning I have moved and created that reawaken that modality with Source. I channel at Source, and I work within the Akashic space as an integration layer to help with aligned actions on embodied truth. And this is one of the main spaces that I move in. I also host and facilitate retreats and workshops and a lot of other things, as well as co-host the podcast Erotic Spirit Podcast
Mhm.
with my dear here. So love it, love it. And then tell everyone about you. Who are you, Angela?
I am also the co-host of the Erotic Spirit Podcast. I am a psychic and a medium. I am a channeler. I am a dream interpretation expert. And I am also a quantum touch energy healing practitioner with its own spin. I have interdimensional beings, which are the beings of my clients, actually, coming in and working with me and them when I do a session. And I am very much about helping people empower themselves and find their own way and their own wisdom. And I absolutely love it.
Oh, I love it. And if you're tuning in or when you're tuning in today, if you're new, check out our podcast on all major platforms on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Hit that subscribe or follow button so you see all the latest. And today, our episode that aired is about the God box and the potential limitations that we sometimes put on ourselves, and God meaning God, source, universe, whatever however that resonates with you, and seeing and honor ourselves when we do perceive ourselves in limitation, and then how we move through it, and so many other things too. That was a beautiful episode we recorded a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not putting God in a box when God is the box, everything in the box and everything outside said box. So, yeah, humans, we need the box. I need my box. I got to have my box. And I am always putting a toe outside my box, but my box is how I quantify information so that I can function in the world. If I try to move my consciousness too far outside my box and contemplate like the universe on a broader scale, I can only get so far before the human part of me is just like, I can't look. This is too much information. I just can't go here. So like the box is important, but like I'm always expanding my box, but I deeply appreciate my box. Gotta have it.
I love it. And I love how I definitely, we always, with every person out there, always have a different perspective and view and journey. And so I love hearing that. And it's part of my journey too. Sometimes I feel like there is a box that I use. And then a lot of times I feel like I just float and I'm like, was there a box here? Was that an hour ago? Like, I don't remember. Where did it go? So it's just funny, I'm just like, I just float in between all these spaces, but it is, there's so much truth to, like, there is a space where there's a comfort behind it, and that's fine, and that's good. And then it's like, hey, can I stretch beyond that? And then sometimes it's like, wait, how far back am I from space and linear time in the box? So yeah, I mean, but it's always evolving. It's always evolving. So come hang and hear more of that episode. And let's set this space here just briefly, just see if there's anything. Do you have anything coming in?
No.
Yeah. It's funny because the talking about that episode, and like, I just feel creation energy around us, and that as it always is around us, that, and then there's just this infinite creator energy just moving in this space here as it is coming in. And so let it be. And if you are new here, it's all about your own sovereignty, and whatever resonates with you, whatever doesn't, leave that over there. Whatever does, take that with you for whatever that means. And everything is all about saying yes to receiving. So if you're open to that, send that telepathic yes out, and we'll get going here. As we feel. Yeah.
I was going to say, take what works for you. Like you said, leave the rest.
Leave the rest. So feel free to drop in your questions there. I don't see anything there. Hit that like, subscribe, or come on in. If you're outside, I know sometimes you're outside of that Facebook window, just watching. Feel free to come in. No, we don't bite. Or you can watch from the outside too. Let me jump in this question here. So, how can couples heal sexual disconnect without blame or pressure? Oh, gosh. Yeah.
How can couples heal sexual disconnect? I have light language that wants to come through, and
I hear it.
I can't talk until it does.
Yep.
So we'll set the container. We'll set the container with some light language. I guess that's what's happening right now. Hamea ishtiaya ikia rokaya ratia ratia ratia. Hamea itiaya ikoya rastia ikia. Hupiaya ikoya ruya kayania. Itiaya ikoya hatiaya itia. Hamea hutiaya ikia rastia rastia rastia. Piaya ikoya. Ruti itiaya istia. Hamea hutiaya ikoya. Huya hoya.
Oh, so it is.
So it is. If no one is familiar, if you're not familiar with light language is language that comes through that carries vibration, and it carries vibration just depending on the person. Some people call it soul language. It is an expression of soul, and it carries high vibrations. When mine comes through, it is generally, it's goddess energy that comes through. That's where mine is keyed at this time. So big goddess energy here tonight.
Yeah. Yes. It is here. Oh man, I feel that. I feel that love.
Love, baby, love.
Love, baby. Oof, I feel it. I feel it. All right. Well, now we got. So thank you for that. Thank you for that space, for moving into that vibration and channeling that in for us here.
Thank you. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Hey. So, how can couples heal sexual disconnect without blame or pressure?
Oh, so who's channeling in right now? Ooh, goddess energy. It's all about play, baby. It's all about play, is what's coming through. Things are rarely as important or serious as you believe them to be. And when there is disconnect, it's because the pressures of the world have become too great, and it's time to put them down for a while and connect without them. So many relationships buckle under the pressure of everyday life. You all forget that you are allowed to put down your everyday life for moments during the day and just be yourselves and be people outside of those pressures. You were not made to struggle down here. You were made to live and to thrive. It's okay to put it down for a while and just be with yourself and just be with each other. And in doing so, you will actually open yourselves up to the possibilities of limitless abundance that are available to you if you can let go and be in that presence and be in that moment with yourselves and with those that you love and care about.
Beautiful. I love that. And I have a layer coming in here about love and helping heal sexual disconnect through love, and this reminder and awakening of this deeper love of, yes, this question is about couples, but I am seeing this deep love of oneself, in that a lot of times the disconnect is really internal first, and not to put pressure or blame or shame on one's journey as we're ever evolving, as more pieces of our layers become unveiled and we become more aware of these aspects of us that may have been shadowed. There are deep initiations into soul love, of our own soul love. And when we look at it in this perspective of the evolution of our consciousness and awareness to our true self, and how when we connect through, or we see this sexual disconnect, when we get the opportunity to go deeper here, we're going to see ourselves deeper and evolve our soul and learn whatever it is that we came here to learn. But it's also about presence with oneself. And this is an opportunity into awareness of who I truly am. Is there disconnect here because there is something else I desire or I would like to know about myself, and I get to share that through this experience, but it is internalized. It can be internalized first to process and evolve one's understanding of their soul and consciousness at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, they just flashed me this book. It's a great book. It's called With Sprinkles on Top, and it's by Stephanie Gerlich, I believe. It's a great book. It's about kinky people. It's about vanilla partners who find out they have like married kinky people and didn't know it. And she named the book that way because she says all great recipes start with vanilla. Vanilla comes first, you know, and appreciate who
Yes.
you are in your vanilla-ness. And it doesn't mean you can't meet your partner. Kink is just the sprinkles on top of the vanilla. It's not that, you know, they're not compatible with each other. And a lot of what she talks about is communication and getting through feelings of shame and fear and guilt, and they just get in the way, or not enoughness. Vanilla people thinking, oh, I'm not going to be kinky enough, or I'm not enough. And then the kinky person going, I'm not going to be vanilla enough. And it's like, if there's love there and you're willing to communicate with each other, all things are possible. And when in doubt, I'm always get help, get an outside party that can help you, like a counselor or a therapist. There are people who specialize in this stuff. So it's always helpful to have an unbiased third party when things are really, really dense, or if there are not communication techniques that have been learned or clear channels of communication, and you need new ones. Like, you need a new skill set. That's what I tell people counselors are. You need a new skill set. Life didn't prepare you to, talk about your vanilla sex life with your kinky partner or vice versa. That did not come up in Catholic private school. I need a skill set, I need a new way to learn. So
Yes.
I got to go find it if I don't have it. And there's nothing wrong with that. So many people avoid that stuff because they're embarrassed or ashamed, or they think it's for crazy people. It's not. It's like going to find the right teacher for the skill set you need, in my opinion.
Yeah. This is huge. I kept hearing, like, they don't teach this in school.
No.
They don't. And even the basic emotions and how to connect to our own emotions, like the things that we feel on a daily basis. And so, the tools that are passed down from above us are at where they were at in those generations. And so unless we start to become that cycle breaker, or someone who finally says, you know what, I'm a get me a new belt with all these new shiny tools on it, mm-hmm. and be part of that creation to break the cycle and say, I don't have all the answers. It's okay to receive. And then that's how we can learn how to connect in with ourselves, with a partner, and move into juicy spaces from there.
Well, and something else that was really driven home to me, like the further in life I get, is learning never stops. In fact, if I stop learning, I start to get stagnant and I get really rigid. And sex life is no different. Like, it's a learning thing. Bodies change. You have to adapt. Like, sex is going to change. Your sex life, your hormones, your perceptions, your personality, beliefs, all of that shifts. And so sex is going to shift.
Yeah. And sometimes too, we go through experiences that, I'm being shown a vision of, someone going through trauma, and mm-hmm. they go through something, and maybe their partner doesn't, but like, there's the potential disconnect that can come from that, because there's the one person that has gone through the journey and the other one who's trying to empathize and be compassionate, and that impacts the connection there. So the more that we tune in and go deeper into our journey, we're going to learn how to move and navigate through it. But it is our own sovereign, like, it's our really responsibility to take ownership of how we move forward from here. Mm-hmm. There's the past, and then what I like to call, I always say, like, we can rewrite the past through now.
Yes.
And through this moment here, my perception of what happened, whether that's just me, that just happened to me, or that happened to both of us, or there was something that happened with a partner. Yeah. Like, I take ownership in how I move forward. So.
Yes. Well, and I love how you were saying that the disconnect may not be the partnership. It's like the disconnect within yourself. We're always changing and growing. And I'm telling you right now, always cleaning stuff out internally and externally. It's like a garden.
Yeah.
There's always a chance for new growth. There's always a chance for weeds. Got to be mindful of the weeds. And I had a client that was talking to me about how she went through a therapy and changed her own behavior. Husband didn't want to do therapy, didn't want anything to do with it. It was not his frequency. Her just working on herself changed their relationship. And she didn't do anything but work on herself. And it shifted the energy and behavior of the people around her and how they treated her. And there were no grand confrontations. She would like say, I didn't change how I talked. I would just sometimes just be different after a session, and he would treat me differently without me saying a word. So just working on ourselves is huge. It affects the people around us. I wish more people realize that. Take care of your own shit. You do not understand how much it helps the rest of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. There's this vision coming in of two people, and they're both reactive to each other. They're both just, okay, this happens, reaction. Now, if just one person does the work to see, okay, they start to understand about themselves. They start to understand this, that has nothing to do with them, what they're saying, all these things. And they are not reactive anymore. And maybe even just the way that they settle into the conversation, the way they hold themselves, the way that they don't say certain things that project some of one's own fears or insecurities or things outwardly, and just be able to be in one's space and energy and understand that can shift the entire conversation, right? Because at some point, the other person's going to be like, I'm just reacting to nothing. It becomes a mirror. That person who's not reacting becomes a mirror of presence to the other person that just finally says, I don't need to do this shit anymore either. But it's not necessarily like all in that form. It's just like, I'm not getting whatever I needed because maybe I was reacting for someone to see me because no one saw me when I was younger and I needed to act out. And I'm playing this here in this connection here. And you know what? They are seeing me. They are present with me right now. And I don't need to react now. So it's all starts from within, and that flows outwardly.
Yeah. Very well said.
Yeah. So I love it. Right. So if I see some people coming in and out here, so just a reminder, feel free to drop in the chat here. And if you're watching and you enjoy what you're watching, hit that subscribe and like what we got going on here. Got this next question up here. So is sexual polarity about gender or something deeper?
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow. So the first thing that just flashed in front of me, I remember a gentleman talking about kink, and he said, thank the forerunners of kink, the gay community, gay men, because they had to find a way to create polarity in a relationship in which both genders were the same, because we've equated polarity for so long between masculine and feminine when it's really not about the gender of masculine and feminine. It's about like the energy of masculine and feminine. And kink helped create polarity and power dynamics. And that's like, they had to find a way. They had to come up with a way. So I'm getting definitely something deeper. How about you?
Yeah, I love that. And it's funny too, as we were even going over an episode and content on stuff earlier, and it reminds me of like the polarity of that energy within us, like the masculine and feminine energy, and how when we get to it's, I mean, to me, it's coming in as deeper. Like it's nothing to do about gender. That's been kind of like the role or like identity of it. And when we're actually tuned into energy and truth within the universe, is that there's no identity. Identity is what we create, we give.
Mhm.
So the next thing coming in is starting to go into like the balance of that masculine and feminine within us. And I'm seeing this visual of, say, a woman who is moving and flowing between that masculine and feminine energy and playing with that within the bedroom to themselves, taking on a space of leading, where this gives the other person an opportunity, male or woman, to drop into receiving more of a
Mhm.
feminine energy, right? And they don't have to be a woman or a man. It is just, oh, you're giving me this chance to drop in and receive and be in that space. And so it really gives us an opportunity for us to drop in deeper within us, and for us to learn different layers that are showing us actually even things outside of the bedroom. So if you're not one who usually leads outside of the bedroom, and you're not even related to like structure and leading in life, maybe you drop more into that. You've done really well at receiving and more of that feminine energy. And when we move into these spaces in the bedroom, we can even challenge ourselves to do that in life. So taking on leadership aspects within life, non-related to bedroom stuff. So it feels really interesting to play in that energy. Like it's deeper because it actually impacts our subconscious and how we're viewing our own balance and how we flow between the polarity within the sexual experience, and how we get to be in that creative energy, because sexual energy is naturally just creative energy and life force.
Mhm.
And we can channel that energy then outwardly when we get out of the bedroom, and just like, wow, that was really good for me to receive. Wow, I should do
Mhm.
more of this receiving. Nothing bad happened when I received during my experience. And now in life, we say, oh, I receive more. And it gets into deeper layers of our subconscious that we release. We heal through that, and then release. And absolutely not to do with gender. It is deeper and within a balance of that masculine and feminine energy within us. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm seeing right now, if one partner's being too masculine and the other's being too masculine, it's like too much of a good thing. And if one part, there has to be give and take, even if it shifts back and forth throughout the experience, there
Yes.
has to be a give and take. There has to be a flow. And in our human duality, it's, between the polarities, that's where the flow happens. Otherwise
Yeah.
otherwise the energy sits, there is no flow.
Yeah. Yeah, the energy is constantly in a state of, and two, like it's being aware of the flow. If there is so much energy that feels concentrated on like one space, like both leading, both in a masculine energy, it's so concentrated that there is always that feminine energy is always available, but it can be harder or more challenging to be aware of it, because it's just so concentrated on that awareness of that masculine energy. So it gives us an opportunity to see the polarity outside of us and be present. I just heard, just be present. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
That
Mm.
sounds like fun. That,
It's,
we talk about presence a lot, but that's the fun of presence. It's just rolling with what comes and not knowing what's going to come.
yeah.
For example, like being in foreplay or a sexual experience, and getting the urge to like lay back where before you would like pounce forward. But in that moment, that's what feels right. And having the presence, being in that moment, paying attention to ourselves to the point where we notice that. And we don't just jump into the same role we are always used to. We stop and go, God, that is not how I feel right now. I would really just like to lay back and receive or be worshiped or just touch or I'm usually, the bottom in the missionary position, and damn, I just want to climb him like a tree tonight. What's gotten into me? I don't know. God, do I dare? What will he think? It's that moment of this is what I want to do, and honoring that moment, or even just having enough to say, hey, I just want to climb all over you. Are you okay with that tonight? I know we've never done that before. But listening to ourselves in the moment and being okay when our soul pops out hey, you should totally try this instead. It's out of character, and giving ourselves permission to do it. And that's where the fun is. It's so scary and so exciting all at the same time. I had a friend goes, anxiety, fear, and excitement are kind of like two sides of the same coin. It's like, you're not afraid, you're excited. You're not anxious, you're excited. Basically, it's the same energy with perception added to it. So it's like shifting that perception and stepping outside of that box that I love so much and honor, but spirit is always outside the edge of the box going, hi, you can come out a little further, come out to like right here. It'll be fun. Like, okay. And that's those moments of presence where the hit to do something that I wouldn't normally do, or those moments where you just step out and try something really different. And you could get out there and go, this totally sucks, spirit. What were you thinking? I did not want to do this position. But now and it shifted your energy. It shifted something inside you, even if it's not what you expected it to be. It changes things. It expands the box. And while you're out there, like, I didn't like this position, but damn, you're really sexy from this position. And if I just shift this way a little bit, this could be really exciting. But you would never have known had you not ventured outside the box,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I keep hearing awareness to true self. And you find out what you do and do not prefer by bringing in this polarity here. You're bringing in all the opportunities to really understand what it is that I want or don't want, and how to move forward, and what boundaries make sense. And it's deeper than, it's way deeper than being a man or woman. It is way deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I like that question. I like it. Ooh, are
Good
you
questions.
ready? Yeah, are you ready for another one? Let's
Bring
see.
it.
Check in the chat here. All right. That's all good. Well, we'll jump in here. How can curiosity feel safer than performance when it comes to intimacy?
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, there's a lot of like words. I know there's a lot of words. There's a lot of a lot of words popping out.
Honestly, being curious is one of the kindest things that anyone ever said to me. Be curious. Be curious about your pain. Be curious about what you want. Be curious about what you're afraid of. Be curious, because it puts me into a space of there are no right or wrong answers. It pops me into that magical space of being the observer. If you're not familiar with the space of being the observer, it's stepping back from the thoughts in your head or your life and watching it and just being an observer. And it takes the judgment out of it, and it allows for the possibility of seeing a new way of being, or seeing things from a different perspective. It's like giving yourself some distance. Instead of being down in the trees, you can step back and see the forest.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most powerful practices I know. And boy, being curious just automatically puts you there. And it puts me into a sense of play. If I'm curious about something, it's just automatic. No right or wrong. I need more information. What is there to see or learn here? It opens up possibilities for me, because it means that there are different avenues, different pathways, and there always is. I don't care what it is. There is always a million different pathways. So,
I love it. More, always a million different pathways. That is the fucking truth.
mhm.
Yeah, I love that. And to add this other layer in here, there's a focus on the word performance, and what performance manifests as, or what's happening potentially in the mind when someone is more in that performance state and energy, is really a lot of times it's non-presence. It's a state of past or worry. Will this be good enough? And so, not being in a state of presence or being in that space, what I'm hearing is kind of like the body is in a state of survival or fight or flight. It is kind of like assessing the field, and it's what's going on here. Is this safe? So there's just that doorway is coming in, where it's kind of showing that this way, if we're thinking about all these things, the system is really flamed up. And so just looking at it in that angle. And so when you then say, well, what else can I do? And now we're talking about curiosity. That's how we can actually can serve us to shift out of that energy of a fight or flight or non-presence. And then we really drop more into the body. We drop more into, oh, I'm good. I don't need to perform. I am good. It's shifting us actually into true safety of our body. It is shifting us into a natural state of being, which is just aware of what's happening right now. And I get to, like, I don't know what's going to come next, and I don't need to know. And so there's just a difference in some of the opportunity to shift the perspective and see it as a form of, if I find myself feeling like I'm worrying about this or that, now I actually can drop, if I actually switch the language in my mind and become more like, well, what if I did this? As opposed to, oh, she's not going to like this. Like, I get to see the reaction, and I'm excited, and just flowing into that present moment. It feels really good in the body, or at least that's what I'm feeling like. I'm seeing the difference, and spirit is putting me in different frameworks of like a more tense, I feel like my body's more stiff and tense when I start thinking about performance, and I think about curiosity. I can breathe.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can breathe into my body. Yes.
Yeah. To perform is not to be authentic. To perform is feeling like you have to put on a show.
Yeah.
And that is not the place to connect with people. People can't connect with you because they can't get past your performance. They can't get past your act.
Yeah.
And that's a hard place to come from. It's a hard place to have good connection. And it's a hard place to have good sex from, because you're always worried about what the other person's going to think, what the other person will see. Because if we're performing, we're terrified of what they are going to see. If we're performing, we don't want them to see who we are. and it's going from a place of fear. And that's just like, oh, that's not fun. It's not a fun place to come from. The only time I think performance is fun is when it's done with play. Like, I'm going to be the cute schoolgirl over here, and you're going to, come flirt with me at the bar. It's role playing. Role playing is fun. That's being curious. But when we are so serious in presenting ourselves as something we are not, especially in the bedroom, that does not make for success.
Yeah. Oof. I love that. I knew you were going to throw it into as soon as you're like, the only way it comes in, I'm just seeing like a cowboy, and like, I'm seeing you dress up and all this. And I'm like, yeah, that is, I like that.
Yeah, that's authentically performing, because you're sitting down and being like, we're going to do this on purpose, and it's going to be glorious because I want to explore this. I want to be this person because, I want to be the cute girl that gets picked up in the bar in school because I didn't get that when I was younger. And I want to wear a mini skirt, and I don't care if I'm 40 pounds overweight. I know you think I'm sexy. Let's go do this. It's sharing more of ourselves and role playing through it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we might have already answered, but maybe there's another reason it's coming up. But what is the role of play in healing? I swear. It's like there a list of all these questions. If no one has a question, and where we just roll into all of it because there's no linear time.
Yeah, well, Spirit knows the questions. We're just like, rolling along with our answers. I love this. I absolutely love it. I love talking about sex, and I love talking with Spirit about sex and to other people about it, and just talking about Spirit, period. It's, man, when Spirit guides come through, even when it's serious stuff, they usually can do it with humor. It always comes through with a sense of peace and love and just steadiness. And they're always playing, always. They're always coming through with humor. And man, I tend to have a really serious Capricorn personality. And they're like, life is not as serious as you think it is. Like, lighten up. Or I think I'm lightening up, and I'll like do a recording or something. I'm like, damn, I'm serious as a funeral. Like, God, lighten up. And the play is where it's at. When we play, we lighten up, and the more joy and happiness we have around us, it raises our vibration. It makes it easier to hear. That's why so many important decisions are like, you need a break, put down life for a while, and then come back.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. I mean, you said it all. There's this, to me, the other layer coming in is about inner child healing work. And sometimes in life, when we go through things when we're younger, it's a sense of feeling of not getting to play as a kid, or play as much, right? And so when we take back that, just this, I mean, the truth is the vibration of play and joy, and or that joy is so lighthearted. So when we start to tune into that play as an adult, we get to remember the safety that we are really truly in that present moment. We are truly safe in that present moment. So it shifts, especially, I mean, I've done a lot of inner child healing work and workshops around that. And the bringing in the play really shifted my perspective and my opportunity with my sexuality to really become embodied in safety, because I felt fun. I felt good to play as an adult. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so good and I'm safe. And it really exploded over into my sexuality in ways that I'm like, oh, okay, I broke a ceiling here. I broke through this, and I didn't even realize that it was just a deep layer in the subconscious or even unconscious in the body where trauma is stored. And it really shifts out all these things in all areas. Obviously, we're talking about sexuality, but it's like in all.
Yeah.
That's my mic drop. My mic dropped, actually.
You dropped the mic and left the stage. You're like, we out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Play is one of the most important things there is. That's how children learn that's how children learn. That's how they deal with trauma. That's how they deal with hard things. I worked in a children's hospital for 10 years, and we always had dolls, and we would take the dolls in and show the kids, like, we're going to put this bandage on you, and oh, look, this is where the IV is, and this is what we do with the stethoscope. And because it showed them what was going to happen, it took some of the fear out of it. And that's how they deal with information and life. And I worked on a unit that they were 2 and under. So I had some, like really tiny babies and stuff. And there were times where I was not using the toys as much. And I literally had my spirit guides come to me in the morning. You know how you're half in between waking and sleeping. And they said, you've got to use the dolls more. Like, you need to play more, even if you think they're too young to understand it, because it is so important. So we all have a piece of us that will always be a kid. We always feel younger than we actually are. There's always that inner child piece of us. It is an archetype. It is eternal. It is there. And the divine always looks at us like we are the most beautiful children and creations ever in existence. So I don't know what it is. I know life is hard on earth, especially when it comes to survival, but losing play is one of the most detrimental, unsurvivable things we have ever done. It's so necessary. And damn, sex is fun. It should be. If it's not, play. Like, we gotta play more and just lighten the fuck up.
Yeah. Play shifts us into presence. And so if there is anything in the bedroom and during that sexual experience that feels like it's activating, it just feels like it lightens things up. It gets us present in our body, and our body finally says, oh, okay, I'm here. I am here and now. So it's so healing in so many capacities.
Mm-hmm. It takes the pressure off. Like you said, it brings you back. It takes the pressure off. Like, nobody does well with pressure. I know there's all that talk of, you will become a diamond. You will, this pressure will change you and you'll be a diamond. Bullshit. Take the pressure off.
Yeah. Take the pressure off. Mm-hmm. I like that. Yes. I like that. Bullshit. I call bullshit.
All bullshit on this myth.
Yeah.
All inner children need play, which means we all need play, period.
Absolutely. I like that. That's one of my favorite topics. And here we go, dropping in here this question, because I don't see anything in the chat. All good.
Mm-hmm.
We have something queued up. How can people rebuild trust with their bodies in small, joyful ways?
That's a good one. The first thing I think of is touch. That's the first image that popped in. Like, play with your genitals, put your fingers in your vagina, play with your penis, get in touch with those parts of ourselves that we've been taught they are taboo, or that they are dirty or wrong. And I'm talking about people's feet too. Yeah, so many people just don't touch themselves in areas. Like, they won't touch their feet. They won't put lotion on their feet. They won't take care of them. And every part of us is sacred. Like, touch all the parts. And it's amazing how healing that is, literally and figuratively.
Yes. Yes, 1,000,000%. And you took this is one of my favorite ones to chat about. I mean, because you're creating this new experience by oneself with that touch. So I was given another visual of what's called a jade's egg for the yoni. And so this is something where and you can find these online, or also, I don't know if I can link it here, but have a link to an experience that I journeyed in with that. And so what it is essentially this crystal egg that is made for this, or they say it's made for this and safe to insert in. And what part of the journey is, and what's coming in is like, there have been probably experiences, and it could even be to someone that we have loved, that we said yes when we meant no, and meaning it for penetration, right? And so to rebuild trust with our body is actually listening to what we want. So if we said yes when we meant no, does our body actually trust us? No, right? Because we're doing one thing even though we wanted something else. So in this journey and experience with the yoni egg, I would always ask before entering, and this obviously coming from women's perspective, I would always ask before placing the jade's egg inserted internally. I would always say, okay, is this what you want? And if there were any times that was a no, I'd listen. Okay, we're going to put it to the side. We're not doing any exercise. And then when I would hear yes, I would move in through with that. And so there's different things energetically too, I feel, that you can do. There was an exercise where the legs were like in an open butterfly. I don't know how I can explain other than like the legs look like this. And a yes, feeling into a yes into the body. Do I feel like doing this with my body right now? Just even like whatever it may be, it doesn't need to be a sexual experience, and opening the legs up for a yes and closing it for a no. And there is something with that really helped me. There's something which is honoring in and tuning in to actually what the body wants. So how do I know? How can I trust? Or how can I rebuild trust if I even don't know what I want? And so for me, I wasn't even in my body. I wasn't like able to be like, okay, well, what do you want, body? So, and I know I jumped all over, but there's a lot of it's just kind of downloading in, where it's like figuring out what you want, how to tune into the body, and then actually doing that. Actually, what is it I truly want, and releasing that. So that was really huge with me. And the last other thing there with the yoni egg, I would go through these experiences where there were like past lover clearings that I went through, and released emotions around different aspects of those experiences or journeys, which is that lover. And sometimes there was anger coming out, and sometimes sadness and grief. And so my body started to, I would say, call it as trust myself, because I was actually honoring these emotions, even if I didn't honor it in that time, in that experience with that lover or that person. I'm honoring it here now. And that's all the body wants to know, is about now. And it gets to close this loop of, oh, I didn't go through that anger, so now I get to experience that, and oh, good, I feel good. And the body is like, oh, we did it. So we're good. And I can trust that we'll go forward with that too. And I don't need to live in the past. So yeah, I know I said a lot of different things there.
You know what? Even you saying I thank you for sharing, because spot on. Thank you for sharing your journey, because that was very instructive. Like, it really drove it home in a very practical way. But how we were talking about play, and you said, by doing that, by going and revisiting and going through the motions and letting the anger out, or that's play. That's role playing. That's going back and revisiting. And our minds don't know the difference between imagining something
Yep.
and what is real. They don't.
Yep.
Our
They
bodies
don't.
don't. I started this great practice that a therapist taught it to me once. She goes, if your mind goes down a dark path, like, worst case scenario thinking, or going down an old pathway, stick your hand on your heart and go, it's not real.
Yeah.
Like, apologize to your body, because what I've just thought about, I have just run my body through this survival scenario or whatever, and my body's just lived through it, because that's what happens. It's like running stress on the body. It's like dragging it through the mud. But I mean, instantly, I challenge anyone to try this at home. Instantly, when you go, it's not real, and I apologize, I'm so sorry, I was thinking about this, I say why. I was concerned about this happening again, and it's not real. And just doing that, I'm not even thinking about anything right now, and I can feel my body settle in the present moment. It just feels good. But going back and doing that, it's like, I didn't get to slap the bastard and scream at him and tell him what a douchebag he was or she was, and recreating that, you're right, it ticks the box. It's like, oh, we got to do that now. Okay, well,
Yes.
we can move on.
Yes. Yeah. And so then, like, the body trusts is like trusting because it's moved through what it needed to move through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, we're on the same page. Good. So that's what mine said, at least right now.
Mm-hmm.
we get each other, right? So yeah, it's important. That was a good question. Huh?
Very good question.
Yeah. Okay, well, we are coming at time here, so I'd love to pop up. I'm just going to pop up our website here. If you're new and you're still watching or whatever, just come subscribe to us. Come subscribe to our channel, to our YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook and all those beautiful platforms, come subscribe to us, Erotic Spirit Podcast. If you're interested in hearing more about the episodes, it's everything sexuality, spirituality, all the beautiful pieces of oneness. So weekly, we have episodes that come out on Thursdays. We have a new one that came out today. Feel free to check out our website, eroticspiritpodcast.com. If you have a question that you'd like to ask, but you want to be anonymous in it, go to this website here I have up. It's under the tab Spirit Guides After Dark. Drop in to that space, hit, ask for your email. What is your question? And we get to review it and post it up in future lives.
But we will not tell anyone who you are. We may know who you are, but it will be anonymously asked here.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then I'd love to pop up your info here on where people can find you if they want to work directly with you.
Yeah. So my website is www.angelashelby.com. My passion is any questions you have and what spirit can answer for you. I love to be a go-between between you and your guides, and in doing so, help you strengthen your own connection with your spirit guides. Anybody can do what we do. We just decided this is the path we wanted to go on, and we pursued it. We all have these senses. We all can sense energy. That's what this is. This is not superhuman or extra super special. It just is what it is and how much we want to allow of it. And it's just sensing energy. So that's my long-winded way of saying, if you'd like to connect with me further about any of this, please feel free to reach out to me through my website.
No, I love it. I love it. Oh, thank you. And then I'll pop up my info here under myawakeningwithin.com. Come check it out. Lots of different things. I do one-on-one Akashic source code sessions, energy work. I also have, you could check out my events tab, which connects into all my workshops and retreats that I have coming up this year so far. So tune into that and feel free to subscribe to my newsletter so you stay up to date. So, yeah, that's what we got for you today, though. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Yeah. See you.